Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Teens Biz Talk podcast. Boy, are we excited that you are here with us today to talk to our very special guest. If this is your first time tuning in, hey, hi, and hello. Teens Biz Talk podcast is all about talking with other teen entrepreneurs, finding out how they got started in business, why did they get started in business, and them just sharing some tips, tricks, and things to avoid to our other teen entrepreneurs that might be tuning in. So we are super excited that you are here today. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, hello. Please be sure to like today's episode, subscribe to the channel so you do not miss not one interview, and definitely comment down below what was the most exciting thing that you got from today's episode, because I know you're going to get something. So before we jump into talking with our guest that we have today, today's episode is being brought to you and sponsored by Bateman Empowering Educators. At Bateman Empowering Educators, we take away the trial and error method of your teenager learning about money and entrepreneurship and replace it with a practical blueprint to equip them to create a five-star financial future. So make sure you click on the link down below to see what great things and resources we have available. So now we are going to get into it. We have with us today Miguel Coppage. Miguel is a best-selling author, filmmaker, speaker, philanthropist, social change maker, and an app developer. How are you today, Miguel?
I am very good.
Good. Thank you so much for taking time to come and talk to us and our community today. We are super grateful. This is a podcast about teenage entrepreneurs. Would you mind sharing with us how old are you?
I am 17 years old.
Awesome. And how old were you when you first got started?
I was about 9.
Wow. All right. So you've been at this for quite a bit. So I know you have some things to share with other teenpreneurs that are listening that are maybe just coming about. What I would like to jump right into real quick, I actually saw you being featured in Coastal Today magazine.
Yep.
Yes, so congratulations on that. I would imagine that was super exciting. How, if you could just share with our audience, just kind of how was that experience in terms of, being interviewed and being featured?
It was the experience. I didn't really get the news that I was in the magazine until the day that it got published. So I didn't know I was in it. I had no idea. So it was surprising. I was excited and I felt super ecstatic to be in the magazine. I felt
Okay, awesome, awesome. So you said you got started just kind of in this world of author and entrepreneurship when you were 9. Kind of, if you could talk with us a little bit about what was your journey? Like, did you start off making films, or did you start off as an author, or did you start off as a speaker? Just kind of, what was your journey?
I actually started off writing um, when I was about 6. So I would write these little passages, but it was this one passage that I had wrote, and I actually gave to my mom because I didn't really take writing too seriously, but I loved to write. So I gave it to my mom. She liked it. Um, she didn't read it until like 3 months later. She actually read it and she actually liked it. So, uh, yeah, and her friend had also published a book, so she sent it to her friend. Her friend liked it. Um, then her friend sent it to her publisher. The publisher liked it and got the book published.
Awesome. Very good. So yay for mom being a support and making those connections for you. That is great. So starting off being an author, and then what was it that led you to move into other areas for you to express yourself, like as a filmmaker or as a speaker?
I think when a lot of people saying that my story is motivational, that's when I started wanting to do motivational speaking.
Mhm.
I think that's when, yeah, because I've heard it a lot since I started, writing books, and I didn't really want to do motivational speaking because I'm not really like a talkative person. I don't like talking to like large groups, but now I'm comfortable with it. So yeah, and filmmaking, I think that was always something I wanted to do. I always wanted to be an actor, but I wanted to do two things at one time, not this. So like an actor, speaker, I do a lot. So yeah.
Yes, definitely you do. I think that is awesome, just the different ways that you are, what is it that I want to say, making your mark, right, on the world and in different communities. What would you say helps you to stay motivated in all the things that you do? Because I would imagine, in addition to all the things that I just listed, right, you still have school, you have family, you have hanging out with your friends, things like that. So, what keeps you motivated to be doing all these things?
My mom. My mom.
Okay, that is great. Shout out to mom again. That is awesome. So, do you have an opportunity to network with other teen entrepreneurs within the different spaces that you do things?
Yes, at numerous vending events, I have connected with a lot of entrepreneurs around my age, or even older. Um, it's a lot of people that I've met at vending events. Even on social media, I've met a lot of people. So yeah, I would say vending events and social media are the two networking options I have met other people on and made connections with.
Okay, very good. So, there might be, just in light of how the world is going, right, and our economy, and sometimes things can seem like a little bit dreary. Kind of what would you share with other young people that are listening or other teenpreneurs in terms of ways that they can kind of create things for themselves, right? So I know you mentioned you started writing early, and even from there, you had the desire to be an actor, right? And be a filmmaker and things like that. What kind of encouragement can you give to other teens who are maybe like, oh, I don't really know what I can do well. I don't really know if I have a talent.
It's never it's no one in the world without a talent. Honestly, everyone has their own talent, or even the same talent as everybody else. I don't see anyone that's not, that's like that has no talent. Um, I would say figure out what your passion is first. That's the first thing, because I have multiple passions, and I do a lot of stuff that include those passions. So you got to figure out what your passion is. Then you got to figure out what you're good at too, because you can't just have a passion and you're not good at it. You got to have that passion and stick with it and love it and be good at it. So
Okay, I like that. Thank you for that encouragement. Find out what your passion is. And in addition to that, find out what you are good at. And I like what you said, like you have to work at it, right? You can't expect for it just to happen or appear. It has to be something that you put some time into. All right. So, with you being in business and being an entrepreneur for a few years now, I would imagine there were people along the way that wanted to give you advice. Can you share, or do you know what was the best advice that you ever received, and then what was the worst advice that you ever received?
the best advice I've ever received. Uh it's a lot of advice. Um I think hearing a lot of people that know me well, I think just hearing them, talk about me is like, positive in a positive manner. I think that makes me motivated. So I'll go with what one of my friends said, because I think at one point I was thinking about like just, quitting, but he brought me up. He said, you can't quit on something that you love, because if you're quitting on something that you love, what else are you going to love?
Mm, yes. Wow. That is good advice. All
And
right. Mhm.
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and what would you say was something was the worst advice?
The worst advice, uh, uh, it's a lot of bad advice I've gotten, not just with business. It's just been bad advice all around. Um, I would say somebody has told me, um, you can be too young, but keep on going. That's like, I've heard that too much.
I got you. Yeah, that one is a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this has been absolutely great. I really appreciate just you sharing where you started from, what were some of those things that motivated you, what were some of those things that piqued your interest. Um, Definitely thank you for the inspiration and encouragement for us to be able to figure out what is our passion, and not just that, but what are we good at, and not just that, but make sure we work at it so that we can continue to get better with it. Um, yeah, this has been awesome. Was there anything else that you wanted to share with our community that we have not talked about?
I have something I want to say. You're never too young to do anything. There's
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us today to help motivate and encourage other teen entrepreneurs that are out there listening. And if they want to follow you, which I know they're going to want to, and keep in touch with what you have going on, how can they do that?
First Instagram is The Adventures of Fireman, and I also have Hair Butter Kulala LLC. Um, Twitter is Miguel Coppage, or you can just put in The Adventures of Fireman, it will pop up. Um, Facebook, Miguel Coppage also. And yeah, that's about it.
Okay. And so for those of you that weren't able to write that down that fast, no worries. I'm going to have all of that right down below in the show notes. So make sure you click and follow and go support Miguel and all that he is doing. Thank you. Thank you. So before we head out for the day, I just want to share, as I always do at the end of the podcast, remember, everything in creation was created with a gift inside of it. That includes you. So go out and share your gift with the world. We'll see you next time.